Good day, Tigers. How are you doing? It's Travis here. I hope you're having a perfect day today. I remember very early on not having a lot of self-confidence, not having a lot of self-esteem due to my awkward build. I remember in elementary school when it was time for PE, we'd play basketball. I don't know if they do this anymore, but I know back in those days they would separate the boys' teams by shirts and skins. That's right. One team would have the shirt on, the other team would have to take their shirts off. And somehow always, I got picked for the skins team. And still, those going back and reminiscing on those times, it still is traumatic for me. Because I would take my shirt off and I had this real awkward build. I was kind of wide at the waist. I had the jiggly love handles, narrow at the chest. I looked like a weird version of E.T., I think, with that weird build, wide at the waist, and just a chest that kind of caved in. And the boys and the girls would all make fun of me. They'd call me chunky. They would make fun of me, call me all kind of names. And I'd go home. I was always a mama's boy. I'd go home and I'd cry to Mom. I couldn't cry to Dad because Dad would have jerked a knot in my rear end and he would have made me go stand up to the ones that were making fun of me and bullying me. But I'd go to Mom because Mom would console me. And I'd say, "I'm fat, Mama, I'm fat." And Mama would say, "Son, you're not fat. You're just big boned." Has anyone ever heard that? Well, the truth is I was a little chunky. I found out later in life as I began to study all this stuff, heck, I'm not big boned at all. In fact, there's three types of bodies. There's the ectomorph, there's the mesomorph, and there's the endomorph. I always thought, well, I must be an endomorph because we learned in school that was a big bone person. Because after all, Mama said, "Travis, you're not fat, you're just big bone." She didn't say it had a lot to do with them 4 hot dogs I was eating for dinner either, and the french fries and the chips and the popcorn, but anyway. I found out later on I'm not an endomorph at all. I'm not big bone. I'm a classic mesomorph. I have medium-sized bones at best. And you probably do too. So you're not big bone. You're just carrying around too much energy in the form of fat, excess fat, that jiggly, itchy stuff, and it's got to go. I know you feel the same way. You've been trying to get rid of it. You want to get rid of it. But you're not just warring against your flesh and blood, you see. When you say, "I just don't have discipline," or I don't have know-how, you're not just warring against your flesh like that. It's not like that. We have forgotten the truths of the Bible. This is a warfare between the spirit and the flesh. The Bible tells us that we don't war against flesh and blood only, but against principalities and powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places that are out to get the children of God, that are out to prevent us from being the light of the world, that are out to prevent us from living an abundant life of love of self, love of neighbor, love of God. These principalities and powers want to stop us from enjoying our life, loving ourselves, loving others. We forget that. And what I'm here to tell you today is what you're warring against is basically a generational curse. See, your eating habits and the patterns that you're in that are causing the problem that are so hard to tear down in your life, these bad habits and patterns, are due to maybe how you ate when you were a young person. Remember, clean your plate, how your parents taught you to eat. Maybe it's due to the environment you're in. Maybe it's due to the culture. Maybe it's even due to the culture of your church that doesn't even listen to the preacher's sermon before they're already thinking about where to go eat after church when they already have a weight problem. Maybe it is a real cultural issue. It is a generational curse. It's going to be up to you and I to break that generational curse for ourselves, for our children, for our grandchildren, to stop living like this where food is God. Food is not God. Food should not be God. God is God, and beside God there's no other. We should eat unto Him. We should eat for Him. You can break this generational curse, but you've got to change your habits, your patterns, how you think. You got to realize that a lot of this is your fault, but a lot of it isn't. It's just the way we were taught, the way we were raised up. We even live in a culture where there's so many fast food restaurants that will use fast food restaurant landmarks to give people directions to where to go. If somebody asks you for directions, you go, yeah, go down there by the Taco Bell, take a right at the Taco Bell, and then take a left at the Chick-fil-A, and then what you'll do, you'll run into the Burger King, take a left there, and you'll wind up where you're trying to get to. I mean, my goodness, when we walk out our door, there's probably 50 different fast food restaurants within just a few square miles. And then you turn on the TV, oh my gosh, primetime TV, that's all you get. But between every break, you're either getting a lawyer trying to get you to sue someone, or you're getting a prescription drug commercial, or you're getting some sort of food commercial. Come on, everybody. We got to snap out of it. We're better than this. We can live with more awareness. We can take back our life from the diet devil. We can change forever. How do you change forever? We've got tools for you. We've got the right plan at Shibboleth. We've got the plan. It's practical, sustainable, and fun. All you got to do is submit to it. Submission sounds like a terrible thing, but it's one of the best things you'll ever do in your life. Just submit to the rules. Live by these easy-to-follow rules and watch the fat come off. Watch the generational curse be broken for you and yours. I love you in the Lord. Get fired up today. Follow your Shibboleth plan. Have a perfect day and break the curse.